class. Yeah. So good afternoon to everyone. Today we will discuss a topic that is the role of agriculture in economics and its development. For example, here where we are studying agriculture economics. So last day we discussed about what is in agriculture, how it as a traditional agriculture, how it is modified, nothing but its modernization. So therefore, time comes to discuss that is the role of agriculture. Nothing but what is the role of agriculture? Nothing but how the agricultural production is there, how it can contribute to the Indian economy. So therefore, so what is the role of agriculture sector in economic development? Okay. So here, uh, see, first we need to know what is meant by agriculture economics, right? So the previous class we have discussed about what is meant by agriculture and what is meant by economics. At the same time, what is meant by agriculture economics. So here, the first point, what is the role of agriculture economics? In this one, the first one is increasing in grain production. What it means increasing grain production? It means that the increasing agriculture production. For example, when you take the data from 1952 at present, for example, if you take agriculture production from 1951 to 52, so at present 2020-21. So there was a drastic changes in the production of agriculture output or agriculture production. So from 1952 at present 2020, during the 70 years, so the production has been increased over a period of time. For example, if you take paddy or wheat or other productions of agriculture commodities has been increased drastically. Why the production has been increased? For example, if you take the data about 1956, 51, 52, 2020, 21, for example, as we discussed yesterday, that is impact of green revolution. So, for example, 1951, 52 to 1965, 66. After 1966 to present, so there was a drastic changes in the production of agriculture outputs. For example, if you take paddy, wheat, so how much the production is there in this during this period from 1950 to 1951 to 66? After 1966, how much the production per acre, or we can say the productivity. So here the productivity has been increased due to the green revolution. That is called. So here it is called green revolution, which has happened in the 1965. So due to the innovation of new technology as well as HYVs. What is HYVs? Yeah, what is meant by HYVs? What is the full form?
High yield varieties seeds.
High yield variety seeds. So during the after 1966, so the high yield variety seeds has been reduced, and due to this seeds, the production has been come more and more. So therefore, there is a huge impact of high yield variety seeds in the agriculture sector. So therefore, the production has been increased. For example, if you take the data before 1966, okay, for example, if you take 1960s, so 2000, for example, data, for example, 2020, if you take, so how much the production per acre? For example, if you take paddy, so there was a less because there was a old traditional seeds are there. There was no quality seeds. There was no much fertilizers, pesticides. There is no chemicals, right? So present, if you take 2020, there is a high quality seeds, HYV seeds also there. We have more fertilizers, more pesticides, and here new technology. We are using this kind of all those things. So therefore, we are producing more and more output during the after the green revolution. So therefore, there was a huge changes in agriculture production from after the green revolution. At the same time, if you take into account from the 1966 to 1990s, and after 1990s, for example, especially 1991, after 1995 also, there was a greater changes in terms of production of agricultural output, because WTO, World Trade Organization, so there was a free trade between some countries. So therefore, there was a restrictions were relaxed. So therefore, most of the countries have produced and they have export to the other countries. So that's why in agriculture sector, the production has been increased drastically from 1965, 66. Have you understood the point? The increasing agricultural production, right? Lavanya, అర్థమైందా? Hello. Other people. Ravya,
Yes, sir.
Supriya, others.
Yes, sir.
అర్థమైందా?
అర్థమవుతుంది.
Then second point, the variation in agriculture growth in different parts of the country. For example, if you take in India, so here the agriculture growth is very variant, differ from area to area. For example, we have that 4 areas, right? So here, east, for example, here, east, west, south, north, for example, if you take south and north. For example, here in south areas, the agriculture growth is different from eastern area and north area and western area. So in our India, we have the 4 regions. There is the eastern area, south, north, and west and north, right? So here the growth is different from one area to another area. For example, we can produce more and more paddy in southern region. For example, if you take eastern region, the coffee. If you take Assam, Meghalaya, right? So if you take northern area, Punjab and Haryana, so they may produce more paddy. So here in our maize also, here paddy they can produce more and more, right? So like that, each and every region or area have different growth rate. Nothing more. There is a variation between the areas, east, west, north, south. Okay. So the variation of agricultural growth is different from different parts of the country. Different parts of the country. Next one, target growth rate of 4%. So here, for example, when we have the planning commission, the 12th planning commission, we have the 4% growth rate to achieve in agriculture sector. So after the planning commission, Niti Aayog has been existing. So okay. So here also they have the some objective doubling the farmers. What it means doubling the farmers? So they want to improve the farmers' income by providing sufficient inputs in time. So that is one of the objective of the Niti Aayog. So this is one of the target growth rate is 4%. Target growth rate is 4%. And next one, provide raw materials for manufacturing industry. So what it means? For example, here agriculture sector can provide raw materials for industrial sector. So what are the raw materials can agriculture sector can provide to the industries? Tell me. Yes, please. What are the raw materials can provide by the agriculture sector? As I told you, so for example, sugar cane. What is sugar cane? Okay, sugar cane. So sugar cane is in the agriculture sector. After producing the sugar cane, we can sell in the market. So in order to produce the sugar, the sugar industry, they can purchase the raw materials such as sugar cane. So here the agriculture sector can provide a sugar cane to the sugar industry. At the same time, if you take nowadays jute bags. Hello, do you have awareness about jute bags?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So jute bags are produced in the one of the industry. Am I right? The industry, right? So here in order to produce a
Yes,
jute
sir.
bag, they need raw material is jute. right? So jute is in the part of jute is in the part of jute is in the part of the agriculture sector. For example, if you take into account, the jute is produced more and more in West Bengal, so they can provide the jute to the jute industries. Jute industries. At the same time, I think most of the people they have some habit to consume that egg puffs and curry puffs. Am I right? Do you have habit to have that egg puff or curry puff?
Have.
Yes, please.
No, sir. I don't have.
Other people. So when you are going to eat egg puff or curry puff, probably most of the people they will take what is called what is the red that is the red what is called jam sauce, tomato sauce,
Yes, sir. Tomato
tomato
sauce.
sauce. So where the tomato sauce is produced, tomato sauce, yes, it is in the producer in agro-based industries,
Industries.
right? Agro-based industries. For example, it
Mm.
is one of the industry, X industry.
Yes.
So how they can produce the tomato sauce? By receiving
They are
tomatoes.
getting tomatoes from a agriculture farmer or
So
someone.
this kind of things only the agriculture sector can provide raw materials to the industries. Have you understood the point? 3 points mainly. You can take tomatoes or you can take jute. You can take sugarcane also, no problem.
Yes, sir.
అర్థమైందా?
Yes, sir.
Next one, and fifth point, importance in culture and traditions and customs. For example, here see in agriculture, most of the areas they will follow some cultures. Nothing but whatever they have some traditions. So they have been following since 90s or 80s centuries. So that's why they can follow some tradition, cultures, and the customs. For example, see when you're celebrating the Deepavali, right? So most of the people will use some praise for the cows as buffaloes or oxes, right? So this is one of the culture which we are developing since so long here, right? So this is one of the important in culture and traditions and customs. Okay, and agriculture sector provides livelihood to the 55% of labor force. So here somewhat it may be changes. You can write 52% around 2019 data as per 2019 reports. So the agriculture sector can provide 52% of the labor force. For example, here it means 52% of the people are depending on agriculture sector. On agriculture sector, it is old data. So at present 2019 data as per 2019 reports, so the 52 around 52% of the people are depending on the agriculture sector. So here the provides livelihood, nothing but so they are depending on the agriculture sector only. Nothing but the agriculture sector provides food to the 52% of the people, that is the labor force. Those who are working in agriculture, they are called labor force. Okay. Don't think that laborers, those who are working for industries or our construction purpose, they are not a labor. So those who are involved, those who are getting paid by active by what is mean by but what it calls when you are working in agriculture sector, you are called agriculture labor force. Okay. So then important international trade. See here, importance in international trade. For example, uh, in those days, I have given example also in the first first point. For example, 1951, 52, 2020. If you take the data of any exports, for example, if you take exports of vegetables or fruits or paddy, or if you take meat, for example, if you take any commodities, okay. So if you take the data about the fruits and vegetables and paddy or wheat or mangoes or guava, any fruits and vegetables. So there is a drastic changes in export. Nothing but the exports has been increased because of there was a huge uh, relaxation for the agriculture products in our India. In our India, especially if you take after WTO introduction of WTO, which was happened in 1995 January 1st. So the World Trade Organization, when it was established, so there the restrictions on trade, the restrictions on trade, see restrictions on trade has been reduced. Nothing but the ఆంక్షలు అనేటిది చాలా తగ్గించడం వల్ల ఎక్స్పోర్ట్స్ అనేది చాలా పెరగడం జరిగింది. Have you understood? So therefore there was huge importance in international trade. And at the same time the exports and imports have been increased. For example, see, I told that only exports after introduction of WTO there was a huge increase in the terms of imports also have been increased. Why imports also have been increased? For example, in the WTO regime, so there was some conditions. You need to export 2%, you need to import 2%, like that. So there is a relaxation. You need to export, you need to import the goods. So therefore, there was a huge increases in the imports. Nothing but the imports also have been increased over a period of time, especially from 1995 to present. For example, if you take the data of paddy, so Pakistan and India. So if you take, see, Pakistan can import more from India, and India can import from Pakistan. So here India, especially, they can import more rice or paddy from Pakistan. At the same time, Pakistan also can import more from India. Have you understood the import? Year to year, year to year. So as per the norms and conditions, they need to follow the both countries are bilateral or multilateral countries. They should have to follow certain conditions. So therefore, the imports have been increased from 19th to at present. We are still and then the contribution of agriculture sector has been increased. For example, what is the contribution? How much the agriculture sector can contribute to the Indian economy? So this is a old data. See, I am going to show you. For example, if you take the data here, here GDP in 1970-71, the GDP is 39,000, right? So when it comes to that 1998, how much GDP is there? There were huge changes from 1970s to 1990s. And if you take GDP in agriculture, okay, so here GDP in agriculture, out of this one, the agriculture sector is contribution this much. So as it is increases, nothing but years, the contribution also increases from say 16,000 to 42,000, 42 to 1,35,000, 1,35,000 to 2,25,000, 2,25,000 to 4,28,000 changes. So this is the value, nothing but the contribution has been increased towards the Indian economy by the agriculture sector. So year by year, the contribution has been increased, but see, I'm saying the contribution is increased, but rate of growth is declining. Rate of growth is declining. So year by year, the importance of agriculture has been decreases. Therefore, its contribution was also has been decreased over a period of time. Yes, please. Have you understood this point? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then see, for example, if you take agriculture exports also, exports see in 1970s exports into 486. So therefore, after that, so it has been increases drastically within this 20 to 30 to 28 years. See, 487 to 25,000. So it seems that there is a huge impact. I think, but there is a drastic changes in the contribution of agriculture sector towards to the Indian economy, to the Indian economy. Then next point, please. India attained self-sufficiency in food grains production 1998. What it means? India attained self-sufficiency. What it means here? See, self-sufficiency. For example, before 1998, there was a drastic change, drastic situation in our India because hunger. Why big? Why there was hunger? There is a less less
Production.
high population, high
Okay.
population. So, in order to provide a food for the population, the production is very less. When the production is very less, it leads to the hunger. సో ఎప్పుడైతే జనాభా ఎక్కువ ఉన్నప్పుడు వాళ్ళకి సరిపడంత ఉత్పత్తి లేనప్పుడు ఉత్పత్తి లేకపోతే ఆటోమేటిక్ ఏమవుతుందంటే ఆహార ఏమంటారు హంగర్ ఓకే సో ఇక్కడ హంగర్ వచ్చే అవకాశం ఉంటుంది అంటే పేదరికం వచ్చే అంటే తినడానికి తిండిలో దొరికే ఛాన్సెస్ ఉండవు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 100 మంది అనుకోండి పాపులేషన్ సో అక్కడ 2 కిలోలు మాత్రం ఉత్పత్తి అయింది 2 kgs మాత్రమే సో అందరికీ వస్తుందా తిండి దొరకదు సో ఇట్ మీన్ బి హంగర్ ఆకలితో బాధపడే స్థితిలో ఉంటారు అన్నమాట ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 100 మంది అనుకోండి 20 kgs ఉత్పత్తి అయినాయి అనుకోండి సో ఆటోమేటిక్గా సరిపడంత సఫిషియెంట్ ఉంటాయి దిస్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ సెల్ఫ్ సఫిషియెన్సీ సో హియర్ అప్ టు 1998 the India was depend on other surrounding neighboring states neighboring countries neighboring states in the sense what are the states are there neighboring it means it's in English the states are called countries so therefore here the states this is the number of neighboring countries so therefore they have they are nothing but they were exported to our India so therefore the India was dependent on other countries so when they are introduced that this is called the green revolution green revolution after that the production has been started more and more so up to 1998 so after 1998 India is a self-sufficiency nothing but India depends on its own in terms of agriculture production or agricultural grains or food grains simple food grains yeah is it understood hello
Yes, sir.
yeah
Yes, sir.
then see if you take a food production in 2003 is 210 million tons for example if you take 2017-18 data it may crossed 270 or 260 tons so here there was a drastic changes in production of the agriculture products there were huge drastic changes because day by day we are putting more fertilizers more chemicals more other things in order to get more output when you are getting more output automatically it leads to the higher food production so and then the next point growth rate was higher in 1976 so 96 and 97 that is 9% for example here each and every year the government of India will measure the growth rate of agriculture sector in which year it was high in which year it was low for example during the season so there was a high growth rate of agriculture sector is 1990s that is 1996 and 97 how much the growth rate was there which is highest 9.6 so when you are studying that contribution of agriculture sector industry and service then year wise they will give so you will find out this value okay so then the agriculture growth has got multiplier effect in the economy what it means agriculture growth has got multiplier effect in the economy what it means
Growth has been doubling, I think, in percentage wise.
yeah see if you take into account when we are when you are studying economy so economy consists of 3 sectors agriculture industry service sector so here the agriculture growth has got multiplier effect in the economy but when we are getting more and more income from agriculture sector, so it got a multiplier effect, nothing but multiplying effect. So after 90s, the agriculture sector growth has been decreases. So for example, here when you're studying industrial, sorry, in public administration and political science, so due to the political crisis, so before 1990s, so there was a the agriculture sector plays a very important role. After 1991, the service sector is playing main important role in Indian GDP. Am I right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, after 1991, there was a LPG was introduced during liberalization, privatization, globalization. Due to these things, so the government of India as well as other countries which they have followed LPG system. So most of the countries I followed LPG liberalization, privatization, globalization. Simple here, by introducing this concept liberalization, privatization, globalization, the agriculture production has been decreased. Means that the rate or the contribution, simple contribution of agriculture sector to the GDP or economy or economy. Economy consists of three sectors. I am right? Economy,
Yes, sir.
agriculture, industrial, and service sector. So in order to increase the economy, so agriculture sector has contributed a lot. After that, industries. So at present, service sector is contributing more and more towards the development of agriculture sector. Why? Each and every sector is contributing something to agriculture sector because all the sectors are depending on agriculture. Even if you take industry, if you take service sector, these two sectors are depending on what? Yes, please.
Agriculture, sir.
Agriculture, because without food, we cannot sustain it, right? Without laptop, without a network, we can sustain. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So here, this is a very important topic. What is meant by agriculture, nature and scope, and what is the yes. So what is
Sir,
the role
I
of
have one
agriculture
doubt,
sector
sir.
in agriculture development or Indian economy? Okay. Yeah. Say, still anybody have the doubt regarding to this one?
Yes, sir. Actually, yesterday's class I have a doubt, sir.
Yeah, please just made. Yeah, you can remind it. Then I will explain it after this completion of this 6 points. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Jnana. What's the
Okay,
name?
sir. Gnana, sir.
Okay, Jnana. Right. Yeah. See here, India has got 130 million hectare of cultivation land. For example, at present, so India has 130 million hectares of cultivation land, cultivable land. For example, here we have the two types of lands. Okay, cultivable land, barren land. For example, have you listened barren land? Barren.
Yes, sir.
బంజరు భూములు అంటారు చూడండి.
Yes, sir.
Cultivable land, nothing but which we are able to cultivate the land. Barren land means which we cannot cultivate the land, for example, right? So for example, this is the land we have. So here we have this much a percentage. This is a cultivable land, right? So here 130 million hectares of cultivable land. So here see 12.9% of the population owns 65 of the cultivable area. For example, here we have 100% people. So here population is, for example, 121 crores. For example, as per 2011 census. So here out of 121, 65% of the population. Sorry. 12.9% of the people have 65% of the land. Have you understood this point? For
Yes,
example,
sir.
this is 100% of the land. Okay. For example, here 64%. For example, this is for example 64%. For 65%. So 65% of the land only have 12.9 percent of people. Nothing but more or less is 13%. So remaining,
Concentration of land.
how much
is
remaining
more.
percentage? 87% of the public or people have 35% of the
Less
land.
land.
So there is some inequalities among the public. Am I right?
Mm.
Have you understood the point?
Yes, sir.
So it
Yes,
leads to
sir.
the inequalities when you are studying the Lorentz curve. So in order to study the inequalities between the population. Am I right? Yeah. So then agriculture is a major source of income for 2/3 of the population. 2/3 of the population. It means that simple. Here, most of the people, nothing but as I told in the beginning also, around 52% of people are depending on agriculture sector. It means that, see, what it means, agriculture is a major source of income. Source of income, nothing but most of the people are depending on agriculture sector. So they will get some income by involving agriculture sector, whether they are acting as a labor or operator for machine or anything. Okay. So this is agriculture is a major source of income for 2/3 of the population in our India. And other people are depending on industry as well as services, right? Then come to next point. 3% of the growth, it is growth in agriculture sector leads to the 2.6 growth of industry. For example, see, when we are getting 3% of growth rate in agriculture sector, it leads to changes in 2.6% in industries. How? Yes, please. For example, there is a growth rate is 3% in agriculture sector. It leads to increase in industries by 2.6% because these industries are totally depending on agriculture. Am I right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then net availability of food grains is nothing but a gross production. So how we can say that net availability of production? So it may comes into the market supply. Fourth model. Say availability of the food production, nothing but when you are producing 10 quintals, how much it can be availability for the future generation. For example, see gross production is, for example, if you take gross production, so if you don't mind, if you take paddy, so you have 1 acre of land. How many quintals you can going to purchase, Amma? Yes, please. Any value you can give. హలో, మీరు ఎంత
50
ఉత్పత్తి చేస్తారు
quintal.
ఒక ఎకరంలో వరి? ఎన్ని క్వింటాలు వస్తుంది?
3, 4, 3, 4
క్వింటల్స్.
quintals. Don't know, sir. How many?
4 quintals. ఓకే.
Yes, sir.
సో ఆఫ్టర్ గెటింగ్ 4 quintals, ఏం చేస్తారు మీరు అప్పుడు? వాట్ యూ కెన్ డూ ఇట్?
We will export to other industries. We will sell it, sir.
You will
We
sell it.
will sell it.
Will you sell all total 4 quintals?
No, sir. We will sell 3 and 1 quintal will be for self-consumption.
Yeah, see here, home needs or home consumption, right? Okay. Then for the next sowing seeds, nowadays most of people they are not taking seeds, right? So they directly they are purchasing from the company. Am I right? So earlier, whatever they have done some production, so they will take some home consumption plus seeds plus what it is plus wastage and exports. Wastages. And exports. What is wastages here? As I told in the last class, marketed and marketless surplus. Marketed, sorry, I'm not able to write perfectly here. Marketed and marketable. So what is marketable? Marketed surplus, which is ready to, which is sold out. Marketable, nothing but which is ready to sell, which is ready to sell in the market. So therefore, after consumption of 4 quintals, after production of 4 quintals, you will take 1 quintal right? Sorry, 4 minus 1 quintal plus seeds half quintal 1.5 for example, plus wastage 0.5 plus other expenses. For example, you may take 0.75. Sorry, here exports now. Okay. So therefore, 4 minus how much? 1.75, right? So remaining how much? 2.25. So therefore, this much will be export to the other countries. Here, if you take exports, here you can take exports, no problem. Or else exports is equal to 2 quintals 25 kilos. Have you understood? Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
SS అంటారు అర్థమైందా అర్థం కావట్లేదు.
Yes, sir. అర్థమైంది, sir.
Okay. So time is going to end. So tomorrow I will take the class, another class. So this is the one thing, production of the food grains and share of public sector outlay, experience, planned. So this is the one about the role of agriculture sector in economic development. Still anybody the doubt?
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, in the green revolution, why do they concentrate only on rice and wheat, sir?
So here they have introduced
What
the
about the
concept.
other crops? They didn't.